Hello, good humans. Welcome to the wonderful world of Janice Enjoys podcast, where we're all about unlocking life's incredible magic. I'm your spirited host, Nyambuzogori, and I'm delighted to be with you here. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for tuning in every week and listening to these amazing episodes to help build yourself and become the best version of yourself. And if you're new here, welcome. In Janice Enjoys podcast, what we do here is we encourage you to become the best version of yourself using your own values that are inside yourself that you totally forgot that they existed to begin with. So if you're looking to elevate, if you're looking to becoming the best version of yourself, this is the podcast for you. And I love you so much and congratulations. This is such a bold step. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be an easy ride, but it's going to be a ride that is gonna be worth your time. So make sure you tune in every week if that is what you're interested in, and if also you're looking to know yourself better. You know, self knowledge and knowing yourself better is what this podcast is all about. Because I'm using my own steps that I've used and many steps that I've learned and I've seen other people use to become the best versions of themselves. Okay. So if this is what you're looking into, or this is what you want to become this year and the years coming, this is the podcast for you. So please like, share, and subscribe to this channel and hit on the notification button so that each week as I upload every new episode, you can be able to watch the episode and get motivated to get inspired to begin your self-awareness journey. Or if you just want to relax and just to pass time and to watch things that makes you feel rejuvenated, this is the podcast for you as well. It is also a podcast for entertainment because I tell you stories about my experiences that I've overcome to become this version of myself and becoming the best version of myself. So I'm not yet there. I can admit it. I'm not yet the best, the grandest version of myself yet, but it's step at a time. And you're not alone. So many people out here want to elevate and become the best versions of yourself. So if you feel like the people that you surround yourself with are not motivating you to become, or inspiring you, or pushing you to become that person, this is the podcast for you. You can listen to this podcast and get to see and know that you are not alone, that people out here are working to become the best versions of themselves. So don't be afraid, and this is the podcast for you. And if you know someone who's trying to become the best version of themselves, please share this podcast and tell them to like, share, and subscribe, and let's all grow together. Let's all become the best version of ourselves together. Okay? So this week we are in March. First of all, we are in March, and oh my God, happy new month, guys. It's last month was the month of love, and this month is the month for women and ladies, and it's also my birthday month. I'm a Pisces. Yay! Yes, you guys, I'm a Pisces, and my birthday is this coming weekend. I'm so excited. I'm so over the moon. I'm turning 27. Oh my God. What better way to turn 27 if not with self-realization and self-discovery? Oh my God. This is just an amazing episode. I started the self-realization and becoming the best version of myself like 2 years ago. That is when I started knowing what and what not I don't want, how I want to lead my life, and who I want to associate with. Yes, we might fall, we might break a leg here and there, but it's worth the journey. I can assure you, it's worth the journey. It's worth the tears. It's worth the healing. It's worth everything. So my 27th birthday gift that I am so proud to have this year and to tap on the blessing of my birthday is the gift of self-realization and the gift of self-discovery. Honestly, we have so many people out here who don't know their value. I was one of them. And it's a shame because you let people abuse you and use you. But when you begin and when you start the self-realization journey and the self-discovery journey, that is when you realize not everybody is like you, and people have their malicious intentions, so you get to know who and who not to sit at your table and who not to entertain. So the best birthday gift that that I have given to myself on my 27th year on this universe is this this journey to become the best version of myself. And I know, and I can assure you that it appreciates because you get to treat yourself different, you get to receive different treatment from people and organizations, and you get to just value yourself and to become more aware of who you are and what your likes and what your dislikes are. And also to on this episode, I did my makeup. Oh my god, that deserves a round of applause. I did my makeup and also I did the lashes today. So you guys, you have to get used to seeing me different on every episode, because every episode I'm trying new things. But today I only tried to style my hair differently so that you guys can see my beautiful ears. I just wanted to show you guys my ears. Yes, can you see them? I hope you can see them. I love them so much. I can't believe I'm saying it out loud. I can't believe I'm admitting it, because at some point in my life I couldn't. I was just embarrassed by them. But now they're the most beautiful thing on my face and then on my body. You can imagine. This is what self-realization and self-discovery does to you. It makes you appreciate things you took for granted once upon a time in your life, and things that you thought were how do I say it? Well, like a distraction of some sort. Okay, so this and I have so many good news. So that is number one. And number two, tomorrow is International Women's Day. On Friday is International Women's Day. Guys, and the theme of this year is Inspire Inclusion. Everything about it is about this podcast, everything about the theme of this year of International Women's Day is about this, is what this podcast is about, and what this podcast has been trying to advocate for the few months we have been here. And inspire inclusion. Oh god, guys, it's such an amazing year. First of all, you inspire inclusion by including yourself first in everything and treating yourself better. That is how you're going to include every other person in everything. The activities that you're doing in becoming the best version of themselves. And I try to include all of you on this podcast, and I try to include all of you in my self-discovery journey, so that you can have at least a hint, or you can have an idea of how it is going, or how it is to be self-aware, So today's episode is just an amazing episode, because I feel so rejuvenated and I feel so empowered, because now I feel like everybody else is also trying to push this in some way or another. Everybody is trying to push this self-awareness and self-discovery initiative some way or another, and be it in trying to help you become the best version of yourself, or trying to help you move onto your next level in life, or just trying to be a kind person, So, enough introduction. That is what this podcast is about, and that is what this week is all about. So you guys, see you on Saturday on my birthday, and I'm so excited. I love you guys. I'm a Pisces, so you know how we roll. And as a Pisces, I know I get all my emotions all over the place and I feel like fully. But I can assure you, this is just one of the best gifts for myself in my 27 years of living. I've never been so proud like I am this year. So we get on to this week's episode. Okay, last week's episode, I was talking about self-esteem and how self-esteem affects different areas of your life, and how crucial it is on your self-development or self-discovery. Okay, so self-esteem, we said you have to. I hope you guys, by the way, this week, I hope this week your self-esteem is at least an inch higher, and I hope you've done the work to help yourself get to that inch of self-esteem, be it with the self-affirmations, be it with prayers, be it with just talking to yourself positively and more kindly, be it with the out with the gossipy, be it with whatever impact that you've done, be it with eating healthy, be it that you've done your workout this week without, so be it just something that has added to you, that is just a sign that you're trying to work on your self-esteem. So if you've just done something that is of service to yourself the past week, that after we spoke about it on this podcast, I am so proud of you, my darling. I am so proud of you, and keep on doing those. If it was just putting a schedule and following the schedule and being, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And please continue building yourself and continue building your self-esteem. So on this week, about the self-elevation and becoming the best version of yourself, I want us to focus at least on our on how to at least discover, at least, sometimes you don't even know if you, how do I say it? Sometimes you don't know where to kind of put all your energy on, Sometimes we get hit with things that they shake us a little bit, but I want to tell you that it's better to focus on the positive side, because the positive side will pull you from lowering yourself and devaluing yourself, and it's going to build your esteem a little bit. Not only esteem, but it's also going to make you stronger. Yes, that's the word. And more resilient. Exactly. Something that is going to make you more resilient, even on things that are going to make you more resilient, even on not your so good days, when you feel like you're under the weather. Okay. So, and I'm a Gen Z, guys. I'm a Gen Z. I was born in 97. So, yes, guys. Honestly, this week I'm so excited. I can't even contain my excitement. At some point, I feel like I'm being too extra, but I can assure you it's not being extra. It's just the excitement that I can't contain, and I hope it's contagious, and I hope you also get excited. If it's not for me, for whatever purpose or whatever reason, I hope you just get excited this week and this weekend, okay? Yes. So, guys, you need to identify your strengths. What is your strength? Am I good at conversations? Am I good at keeping people company? Am I good at listening to people? What are you good at? Concentrate on that. Am I good at, and not these basic things. Concentrate on the good things that are within you, that are your strengths, that I usually use this example. People like saying, you don't know how angry I can get. We ujui kwenye hasira yangu inaweza fika. Kwa nini utaki? Why don't you want to try and test where your love can get? Why don't you want to test where your compassion can get, where your kindness, where your empathy, Those are the values that make you strong, and those are the strengths that you need to put your concentration on. Why don't you think about how positive you are, or what kind of positive impacts that you have on other people? You have to think of these things. And let me tell you, you not only have the negative parts, you don't have the negative parts only. Yes, we have both positive and negative, but in this self-discovery journey and on this self-elevation journey, because I told you, are the only person who knows yourself better than anyone. You know that, because you're the only person who has been with yourself 24 hours of the day, 365 days of the year, 7 days of the week. So you know yourself, you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses. And if you're not careful enough, and if you keep on concentrating on your weaknesses, the strengths are going to dim. And when the strengths are going to dim, everybody else around you and everybody who knows you, they're just going to remind you of all their weaknesses. Even if they don't know all of them, they're just going to remind you of the weaknesses that you have had before or you have ever embodied in your life. So if you don't care, if you are not good in school when you are in school, don't care about that. Me myself, I was very poor in mathematics and so many other subjects, but here I am. I had my strengths in other places, and it's not about, and people, it starts from where we come from, and like I told you, guys, I want to show you my ears. You guys, can you imagine these ears at some point in my life? They used to be my weakness because people used to tell me, oh, you have big ears, oh, you have maskiopopo, you have elephant ears, oh, your ears are like this. But today, I can assure you, my ears are the epitome of beauty. Oh my God. It's holding my hair back, you guys. So imagine if I continue dwelling on those weaknesses. Imagine if I continue dwelling on those people saying, oh, I'm not pretty because those people say I have beautiful ears. Oh, I'm like this because those people say. And let me tell you a funny thing. People like projecting their own fears on you. Because when I was young, I don't remember. Somebody said, Ati, you have big ears, so you should be passing all your exams because, yani, the lectures zinaingia kwa masikio zote. Can you imagine? Imagine your matusi. But anyway, and I wasn't one of the best students in my class. No. It is a lie. I wasn't. So, identify your strengths. And guys, and let me tell you, if you look at your weaknesses, hey, everybody is going to look at them. And you know that microscope, they're going to microscope it to the... If you love yourself and you want to begin this self-awareness journey, pick on your strengths. Whatever weakness that you have, just say, I'm not the only person who has this weakness. And I'm not the only one who has big ears. And also, this is not a weakness. This is a very big strength. I'm sorry to use it as a weakness, but it is not a weakness. I'm just using it as an example of what happened. But this weakness is, I wasn't one of the best students in class. And the teachers have this tendency of always telling you, of always picking on you if you're not good in their class or in their subject. But that doesn't make you weak or it doesn't make you dumb, does it? No. So identify your strengths, nurture them, and just always look at them. I've told you, I know sometimes we feel like we are under the weather, or sometimes we don't feel like we are good enough, or sometimes because we know all our weaknesses, we feel like we are unqualified. Do not qualify yourself. This podcast is not for that. This podcast is to overqualify yourself. Yes, overqualify yourself. Overqualify yourself, guys. Overqualify yourself. It's an advantage to you because even your mind doesn't know if you are qualified or not. It just knows that you are overqualified. So who else can beat that? Who else? It's only yourself. Okay? And do not allow. Okay. Identify your values. Values are things that you agree with, yes. And values are the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Let me go that side kidogo. I know, let me go that side kidogo. In the Bible, the values are the fruits of the Holy Spirit: kindness, love, generosity, those kind of things. I've forgotten the others, but those are the values that you have to identify them. We don't have all the 9. There are 9, or how many? There are 10. We don't have all of them 10, but you can identify the ones that you have. If it is being compassionate, if it is, and then nurture it, and then it will make the others come about. I'll give you an example. For me, I was not such a big giver, or I didn't identify myself as a big giver. And that is a value that I learned from someone else: generosity and humility. It is something that I learned from someone else. It doesn't mean that I didn't have it in myself. I had it in myself. It's only that it was not nurtured. I had not nurtured it, and I had not grown it. So after I met people who are nurturing, who are full of humility, who are full of generosity, and who are so much giving, I began to pick to pick one or two things from them, and that is how I built myself from there. And now I can attest and I can say for sure that that is a value that I can say that I have nurtured, and I'm proud of it. I was not a compassionate person. I was a compassionate person, but not too much compassion. But right now, you see, you identify those values, and you mirror those values in yourself by starting to treat yourself first. If you're a giving person, start by giving yourself first, and then unconsciously, you'll begin to be a giver to other people without having that roho ngumu. Wacha kukuwa na roho ngumu. Unajua ukikuwa na roho ngumu, it begins from yourself, guys, and that is doing disservice to yourself. Okay, so you identify your strengths and your values and work on those things. First of all, you work on them on yourself. Don't try doing those things to other people, because it won't work, because that's when you're just lying and you're just trying to, maybe you're trying to pull some strings, and that is malicious, and you're trying to be just that person. But if you really want it to be your second self, your reality, not your second self, if you want it to be your reality, you have to do it to yourself first. Okay, you do it to yourself first, and this way, can I tell you something? Like this, you get to also know which things you can't allow into your space. Because your space is very important, and it is what makes you feel happy, and gives you peace. So imagine bringing things or people that are distracting your peace and distracting yourself, so that is doing disservice to you. So this, when you work on your strengths and you work on your values, then like this, you'll also attract people who are like this and rebel automatically. I'm telling you, you're not even the one who is doing it. It is yourself or your God or your Allah or your whatever that you pray to that is doing it. You're just rebelling. Everything that is negative, it's just coming out. And everything that is not helping you become the best version of yourself is going to come out. So this week, as we are inspiring inclusion in our theme in the International Women's Day on Friday, I want us to focus on our strengths and focus on our values that help us or that make us, or values that we, even if you don't, you just heard of those values, but you have not even thought about it. Sometimes it's just the ignorance. Like for me, also, you, if you're a Christian or you have read the Bible and you know those values of the Holy Spirit, and those values are not things that are outside. Like I said last week, it's things that are inside us. So and those are things that we know. This is not something new, or I'm not reading something from a book that was published or was yesterday. It's something that we know. It's what makes us not become that person is the ignorance. So, by the way, my flu is over. Today I'm not with a bad cough, the dry cough. Today I'm just this baby girl. I think the cough knew, or the flu knew, my birthday is coming up, and and the International Women's Day. So, also for you to be able to let go of all the negative or the negativity or things that are pulling you behind from becoming the best version of yourself is ignorance. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, let's stop being ignorant. Things that we know, but we say, because it's not affecting me. It's affecting you one way or another. And you have to check on your family of origin. Family of origin is where you just look at yourself and look at the things that you like and dislike about yourself. You just write them down. You write them down and you tell yourself, or the journal. I told you guys, I hope by this time everybody has a journal anyway. So you write them down, and then the negative things, if it's something that you picked maybe from the groups that you're in, or the friendships that you've been, or the relationships, or any kind of relationship that you've ever been, whether it's platonic or romantic, or it's with a sister, or it's cousins, or anything that you've picked, you write it down. And then those are the negative ones, and the positive ones as well. The positive ones, you work, or you just leave them first, and you work on the negative ones. You check if it's something that you picked, e.g., taking drugs. Those are things that we pick from our friends in college or wherever we are. But if it's something that you picked from home, look at it. I just use an example of drugs because for me, I picked drugs from friends or from college, from my associations, but it's not something that I have ever, that my family struggles with, or I have no idea if they ever did. But anyway, so you pick something that you check on the negative side, and if it's something that it's something that you've seen a pattern from your family of origin, like the family. When I say the family of origin, is where you come from, like your parents, your siblings, your relatives. That is your family of origin. So you've written down the negative ones, right? So those negative ones, and whatever that you picked from your peers, and whatever that you picked that is a pattern in your family that you've seen somewhere, or with an uncle, an auntie, or just a relative. First of all, you work on those ones, because those ones are things that they are rooted inside us, and we have to overcome them by identifying them at first. Because if you don't identify them, you think it's normal. But if you identify them, no, I don't want to be associated with this, or I don't want to relate myself to this. So this is now a journey to that is now journey to self-discovery, because you've identified that. Now you come on the strengths. You come on this side of the strengths. You find the strengths that you have written down, and the strengths that you feel like they are not so loud. You want to work on them. So you say to yourself, am I a good person? If you're a good person, concentrate on that. It doesn't matter what other people have ever told you or what you think about of yourself. Just concentrate on being a good person. If you're a kind person, if you know that you do things in order, there are people who are very orderly, By the way, that is a very good virtue if you're working on self-discovery. I'm not yet there. I've told you this is a step-by-step journey, you guys. I am not so organized, and there are people who, and it's not OCD, or what do you call it? They're just generally people like this. So if you find yourself, you find your strengths, please work on them. And the strengths don't have to be at work. You're always overworking yourself, or no. The strengths have to be something that is pouring into your cup, pouring into yourself, pouring and pouring and pouring. The strengths are not something that you get from outside, The strengths are something that are within. So you find those things deep inside you. And don't be afraid if you don't find all of them. If it's only one, just one like this, work on that. That one will give birth to the next and the next and the next, and with more time, you're a totally different person. Me, I began like this, and I can tell you, I am a totally different person right now. Whether you believe it or not, I am. I can tell it, I feel it, it's just written all over my face, it's running in my veins. So just aspire to be that different person. You don't have to be one person year in, year out, because where will the adventure be? There'll be no adventure. If you're used to, for example, if you're used to looking this type of way, try and change and look this other type of way, and you can see the changes that you start to attract. And also, I tell you, self-awareness journey and self-discovery journey, guys, it attracts. People know it. So make sure you're trying to be self-aware. And lastly, please, guys, you should know that life is spiritual by now. And by now, from all the episodes that I've had. And when I mean spiritual, I don't mean like you shinda like this on the prayers or whatever. No. Spiritual, it means you should be very careful what comes out of your mouth. You should be super, super careful. Don't be the first one to curse. And cursing, I told you, is not to say, like, fuck it. That is not cursing. Cursing is, I don't know, it's like, 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 I don't know, it's using mean words on people, using negative words, using pessimist spirit. I'm telling you guys, life is spiritual. Just check how you speak, because how you speak to other people is the same way you speak to yourself. And just know you're just casting yourself. You might think that you're being, that is ignorance. Na nimwambia musikwe na yo. Don't accept that. Don't ignore things and don't be arrogant. Okay? Stay on your self-elevation journey and self-discovery journey, and I can tell you, every single day you're going to discover something marvelous, something wonderful about yourself. Okay, so thank you guys. Pray for yourself day in, day out, without ceasing. Pray about everything, no matter how little or how big, and don't forget to tell God to do wonders in your life. Yes, that was that is it about my spirit. That's about it on the priesthood and the priestess thing. So that's about it. And bottom line, pray for yourself first. You can pray about everybody else, about the country, about everything else later, but start with praying for yourself. Okay, so identify your strengths and identify your values and work on them and strengthen them, and let go of the weaknesses, and let go of all the negativity. Okay, so thank you guys. To Friday is International Women's Day. Inspire inclusion, include all your ladies in your becoming better activities, and send this episode and this podcast to every lady that is looking to become the best version of yourself. Your sisters, your cousins, your mom, everybody deserves to be better. Everybody deserves to change their lives to become the best version of themselves. Okay, so thank you guys. I'll see you next week. I love you. Please like, share, and subscribe.